Thank you for visiting my YouTube channel to get your daily Bible verse and Bible chapter. I hope you have a great day and come back each and every day for a new verse and a new chapter. Thank you and God bless. The chapter of the day is 1 Samuel 28. During this time, the Philistines mustered their troops to make war on Israel. Achish and David, you count on this. You're marching with my troops, you and your men. And David said, "Good. Now you'll see for yourself that what I can do." "Great," said Achish. "I'm making you my personal bodyguard for life." Saul prayed, but God didn't answer. Samuel was now dead. Israel had mourned his death and buried him in Ramah, his hometown. Saul had long since cleaned out all those who had séances with the dead. The Philistines had mustered their troops and camped at Shunem. Saul had assembled all Israel and camped at Gilboa. But when Saul saw the Philistine troops, he shook in his boots, scared to death. Saul prayed to God, but God didn't answer, neither by dream, nor by sign, nor by prophet. So Saul ordered his officials, "Find me someone who can call up spirits, so I can go seek counsel from those spirits." His servant said, "There's a witch at a door." Saul disguised himself by putting on different clothes. Then, taking 2 men with him, he went undercover of the night to the woman and said, "I want you to consult a ghost for me. Call up the person I name." The woman said, "Just hold on now. You know what Saul did, how he swept the country clean of mediums. Why are you trying to trap me and get me killed?" Saul swore solemnly, "As God lives, you won't get in any trouble for this." The woman said, "So whom do you want me to bring up?" "Samuel. Bring me Samuel." When the woman saw Samuel, she cried out loudly to Saul, "Why did you lie to me? You're Saul." The king told her, "You have nothing to fear. What do you see?" "I see a spirit ascending from underground." "And what does he look like?" Saul asked. "An old man ascending, robed like a priest." Saul knew it was Samuel. He fell down, face to the ground, and worshipped. Samuel said to Saul, "Why have you disturbed me by calling me up?" "Because I'm in deep trouble." And Saul, "The Philistines are making war against me, and God has deserted me. He doesn't answer me anymore, either by prophet or by dream. And so I'm calling on you to tell me what to do." "Why ask me, Samuel?" said Samuel. "God has turned away from you and is now on the side of your neighbor. God has done exactly what he was told you through me. Rip the kingdom right out of your hands and given it to your neighbor. It's because you did not obey God, refused to carry out his seeing's judgment on Amalek, that God does to you what he is doing today. Worse yet, God is turning Israel along with you over to the Philistines. Tomorrow, you and your sons will be with me. And yes, indeed, God has given Israel's armies up to the Philistines." Saul dropped to the ground, fell like a tree, terrified by Samuel's words. There wasn't an ounce of strength left in him. He'd eaten nothing all day and all night. The woman, realizing that he was in deep shock, said to him, "Listen to me. I did what you asked me to do. Put my life in your hands in doing it. Carried out your instructions to the letter. It's your turn to do what I tell you. Let me give you some food. Eat it. It will give you strength so you can get on your way." He refused. "I'm not eating anything." But when his servants joined the woman in urging him, he gave in to their pleas. "Pick up yourself from the ground," and sat on the bed. The woman moved swiftly. She boxed up, butchered a grain-fed calf. She had took some flour, kneaded it, and baked some flatbread. Then she served it up for Saul and his servants. After dining handsomely, they got up from the table and were on their way the same night. The message, 1 Peter 3:15. If with heart and soul you're doing good, do you think you can be stopped even if you suffer for it? You're still better off. Don't give the opposition a second thought. Though through thick and thin, keep your hearts at attention and adoration before Christ, your Master. Be ready to speak up and tell anyone who asks why you're living the way you are. And always, with the utmost courtesy, keep a clear conscience before God, so that when people throw mud at you, none of it will stick. They'll end up realizing they're the ones who need a bath. It's better to suffer for doing good, if that's what God wants, than to be punished for doing bad. That's what Christ did. Definitely suffered because of other sins. The righteous one for the unrighteous ones. He went through it all, was put to death, and then made alive to bring us all to God. One of my favorite verses is Philippians 4:13, and it says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. If you have your own favorite verse, please put that down below and let me know what it is. And always remember to smile, because you never know what a smile can do for someone's day. Thank you, and God bless.